All right, welcome everyone. I am streaming tonight. Pretty tired, but I wanted to make the effort because I was given data from Eternal Weekend Europe, and apparently the deck performed well overall. I think we had the highest win rate of any archetype with more than 25 entries at like 56%. One thing that was surprising to me, but I guess it's not that surprising, was a slightly below 50% win rate against Demir Temple specifically. I think the matchup is like very good. Well, I don't know about very good, but at least decent. It would be better, but our snuff outs, you know, are not live, I guess, in the matchup. But the other thing is the deck is now within the last week or so trending in a different direction, at least for me personally. And I wouldn't even say the last, I don't know how many days, maybe not even a full week, but last few days in moving away from Wasteland and just having a more stable mana base. I think it's better to just be proactive and do our thing. Where I think Wasteland is kind of a reactive card in our deck. Not to mention it doesn't really cast many spells in our deck too. And I also think the curve of Dork into two drop through disruption or double spelling two drop is too powerful not to play. So I want to play all eight sacrificers. So Wight plus Artisan. Um, there's an argument to be made. This Tivar should be a Cradle Hoof, but I want to minimize the fail rate of the deck as much as possible. So that's kind of where we're at. The two Leyline of the Void was because I'll bring it up, I guess. I played in the LCQ yesterday just because it was the only chance I could get, and then I went 3-2. Both of my losses were to oops all spells. So I think maybe you know something needs to be addressed in that matchup because otherwise you just get high roll because you're probably gonna lose turn one at least with the list I registered. I think there was two endurances only. So I want to play at least three endurances and maybe like lay on the void of the in the sideboard. Let's see how it goes. I don't want to harp too much on. Uh, I did see one interesting list right now, which is cool. I guess looks like somebody played the most recent 5-0 I wanted to bring up. Oh, interesting. Breaking all of my rules. Only two once upon a time. Bowmasters, which is a card I think is kind of bad, but I guess whatever works for them. Also, leagues don't mean much. Oops. Sure. The other thing about playing eight sacrificers is normally you have to like spend mana on your one drop you want to sacrifice, whether that be excuse me, a dork or arbor you fetch. But having mole actually cheats on mana because it gives you the free sack outlet, which is pretty nice. That's actually what prompted me to trend in this direction. Now, obviously, you make the deck a little bit more vulnerable to Grafdigger's Cage, but I think that is probably okay because Why the Reliquary is your secondary what's it called? Why the Reliquary is your secondary what's the word I'm looking for? Threat anyways. And you have four of them in a deck that they can play through Cage. Not to mention, Fiend Artisan can just get really big. Too. Tell me we're playing against Oops. What is with this deck right now? And just people. Just nobody wants to like play Magic anymore. I guess everyone wants to flip coins. I guess I can check like what are they running? They're running Poxwalkers. Like how many? How are they targeting me? Too bad I didn't move to endurance. If I knew they were on Oops, I don't assume that they're on Oops for what it's worth. I'm late. I don't want to focus too much on trying to figure out their list. Maybe I should have checked like how many cards, like if they were on 60 cards or 70 cards, or sorry, or 61 cards. 61 cards is usually like an Oops thing specifically. Dread return is already in the yard. I look for like things like Belcher too. I just concede. It's annoying, but it is what it is. Oh, I'm glad I'm playing Leyline on the Void. Maybe I need to play more. Just let punish these Oops decks. It's very annoying. Force of Vigor either hits Leyline of Sanctity or Goblin Charbelcher, so probably live in that matchup. If Oops is, I don't know why everybody's playing Oops suddenly. Take that out. Take a forest out. What am I cutting here? I like the first Badger Mole because it can like recycle a bog if need be. I guess I can cut one Artisan. I don't know what is better between Artisan and Cub. I would imagine it's Artisan because Artisan just finds Wight and then just or Collective depending what they're on. Whereas Cub, I don't think racing into something does anything here. Also, how's my audio? I probably should be talking more. Sorry, talking louder. Here are my socials for those of you curious. This is like kind of irritating. I don't really, I don't enjoy playing against Oops because I just think it's like flipping coins, more or less, right? Like as far as Magic's concerned. Um, also, uh, it's also kind of neutralizes our consistency deck. Like the way to, I wouldn't say beat, but more so negate a very consistent deck, which I think is the strength of this deck, is to play a high variance deck so that that consistency is more or less neutralized because the games are decided, you know, instead of maybe turns 2 or 3, it's decided on turns like 0, 1. Obviously, I'm overgeneralizing, but that's kind of my 2 cents on a deck like Oops. That pretty much everything's decided on the mulligans. Hopefully, we just open with Leyline. They just, scoops it out or something. Hmm. I think we keep, but I don't love it. Ideally, I would have had another land drop here. Hurts that the Cub is. I didn't keep in the basic force, and maybe I should. Could have dork. Yeah, maybe I'll do that for game 3 because here not going turn 2 Wight, or at least without, you know, hitting a land drop next turn is kind of dicey. Yeah, this is very awkward. I should have a turn 2 white now, and now I don't. Now they top deck it, and I just lose, right? Or it gives them an additional top deck, is what I'm saying. Now, if they top deck it here, then it just doesn't matter because the white's sick anyways. But I'm giving them a second top deck by not having the land drop. So maybe that's the lesson to learn here. We just don't get Q and cut a land. The Artisan, in all likeliness, it probably should be the cut because it's probably pretty slow anyways. What are they doing here? Maybe they just have it too. In which case, there's nothing we can do, right? They just top decked it right now. It looks like they did. Yep. Oh my god. Okay. I guess they just top decked it. I yeah. I get, maybe I just have to just play more Leyline of the Void. They have Charbelcher boarded in, but very aggravating playing against this deck. The only reason why this deck I think doesn't get more more exposure is because it's not. I think people get bored of it. Like if I'm being honest, I don't know how long if I were at Oops I could play this deck without getting bored. Do they have the Dread Return? Yeah, they do. Okay, let's just concede. Well, very disappointing start to my league. Again, everything's just like more or less decided by turn 1, which is upsetting, but it is what it is. How do I even fit more room for Layla in the Void? Maybe I just like cut a therapy. It's 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 very upsetting that this deck is like a big player in the metagame because you have to dedicate sideboard slots, which I don't mind normally. The problem is like everything is so reduced to turn like 0 and 1, and just I don't know. There's very little play. I don't think I know the meta game from Eternal Weekend looks pretty balanced. The gameplay is just kind of horrendous in my opinion. Uh Obviously I'm biased. I don't enjoy the gameplay of Oops, win or lose. And I don't like a card like Planar Nexus existing personally because I hate that people have to contort their mana bases for Wasteland because of one card that essentially makes it so that any future colorless threat is potentially a problem. But, that's just my 2 cents. So they can't really print a strong colorless card in the future without it being a problem potentially in any Planar Nexus deck. It's kind of the Entomb problem if you think about it, but the thing about Entomb at least is you can at least play Graveyard Hate, which is universal. Now you can argue Wasteland is universal. The problem is that's specific to the mana base, and I don't having to force players to contort their mana bases is not something I enjoy personally. Hmm, I don't love that. Missing a land drop here. I guess that's a more argument where for me not it's more argument for me not cutting a land. I thought about going 21 lands, but I'm here. I'm missing land drops. I don't think I want to mull this hand because well, I'm gonna use a pun. I don't think I want to mold this hand, but ideally here I hit a second land drop and then we're in business. I kept it because I still have at the end of the day 5 1 drops, including the green sun. So one, two, three, sorry, 4 1 drops. I led with a higher because I don't have any whites in hand currently, and even if I did top deck a white, I probably would not lead on turn 2 regardless because I would have only 2 mana. And oh, that's pretty ideal. I'm gonna make 4 mana here, which is pretty neat. I don't know what my opponent is doing. So there is a chance they just like kill us here. They're on like TES or something. Like the whatever commercial district into kill us. I mean, possible. I don't know what they're playing. Playing that. Okay. My socials once again. We're gonna have a gazillion mana next turn. So if they somehow answer our Fiend Artisan, Veil of Summer. Okay, I think they. Okay, interesting. I think that maybe they're on Omnitel. Oh, actually, they're probably on Doomsday with that kind of mana base. I don't know for sure. Actually, maybe TES now. With 4 colors on turn 2, looks like a TES start. How much mana do we have here? One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. From the cradle, 7, 8. And then pump the team. Okay, just TS. Tell me we're just dead again. The problem is we didn't know what they were on. If we didn't know they were, I guess it didn't matter. I'm not playing the collective main. Maybe I should. Oh, they're just gonna. That's unfortunate. Yeah. We can't even threaten an endurance here because we only have 1 card in hand. It's yeah. It is what it is. I don't know. This time slot is just maybe it's good in like the grand scheme of things. It just feels like I'm playing as nonstop combo during my m- meta game, so to speak. If you want to call it that, digital meta game. Something I can do there. And again, like it wouldn't have mattered because like I would have to know they're on storm ahead of time because I'm not gonna like get a collective oof in the dark, right? The good thing is the Layla in the Void. It seems like maybe a good meta call if nothing else. It is what it is. How am I boarding here? We have a lot of cards. I have to refer to my sideboard map how I'm boarding. I think I take out the natural order package because they're just trying to turn one me every time. I've never played against like well no, never, but usually the TS players I play against, they're just bullying to turn one. It's kind of irritating, but I guess that's what this magic in 2025 is now. Just like trying to multi the nuts every time. Okay, my sideboard map looks like it's outdated, so I'm just gonna do this on the fly here. Um, no natural order. I think Cub is actually kind of bad because it's not interaction. No Talon Gates. Maybe I cut a forest previously. Maybe that's bad. We'll try it again. Give it another chance. Um, do we need a win condition? Probably not. Let's just cut it. See how it goes. I don't think they're gonna go through the yard for what it's worth, but I kept the bog in. Um, I've turned one inner endurance, but like this, what am I trying to mold to here? This is probably a keep. I guess there's six discard or two ley lines. Maybe I'm trying to get to like one of the discard spells or ley line of the void. I try to keep most like reasonable hands. Maybe that I'm just like approaching legacy wrong and just like everything's a haymaker hand, right? Like I wouldn't like I think there's a chance my opponent's just trying to turn one me. And in that case, I should maybe just mold to ley line or discard. I don't think endurance like good in this matchup. Although who knows? Like if we're playing against a shaky storm player, maybe they go for it through the yard. Gamble. Okay, they're just gonna go for it. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. Like I don't feel good about keeping endurance, but maybe this is a mole. I hate the idea of just you have to mold a discard or like ley line or force, I guess. What are they doing here? Oh, they're gonna get Echo and LED, or I guess relay. They have another wish, which is interesting. I wonder what they'll get with that. We are 0-1. We lost the oops. I'm down a game here against TES. Leyline the Void, maybe it's online meta. Like feels like we need to play more. I have two copies, but I'm not like bowling aggressively to it. I kept a hand with endurance. Maybe that's just too slow. Maybe I have to like mold a discard or mold to ley line or force of vigor or something. It's not really how I enjoy playing Magic, but maybe that's what it is. Maybe you just have to like mold to the nuts every time. I kind of like I don't know. I hate what Magic has kind of become. It's just like trying to just like chain haymakers now. Maybe it's always been that way. I don't know. And I say that as somebody who built the deck kind of to do the same thing. I am, but in place of the hoof, just to see if we can get away with it. I'd rather not play hoof. If I can avoid it. But I think they just messed up. Did they? Oh, it's just short mana. Yeah, they are. Interesting. Okay. Funny. Good old Cabal therapy. That got there. It didn't feel like we deserved it. Maybe the good guys just won, right? Um, is White even worth it in this kind of matchup, or do we just want the acceleration of Mole? I almost feel like they're not going to go through the yard, but I could be wrong. Actually, if they're not gonna do that, actually, Mole might be good. That's just another. Yeah, maybe this is the plan. We're just gonna assume they're not gonna go to the yard. Actually, if I do that, I put in the finisher, right? Oops, I did not do that correctly. I don't know. I gotta play with the numbers. I would think I wanted the turn two. Is that too slow? It kind of feels like it, right? Our opponent is probably just gonna try to turn one us, but I don't know. We'll see. Um, yeah, I feel like this is too slow. Okay, this is way better. Keep. I think we put the land away. Like we have so many good ones. I don't know. We just it sounds crazy against Storm. You're mulliganing a you're mulliganing a naturally drawn collector oof away just because it just doesn't feel like this game's gonna go to turn two. Just how ridiculous I think Legacy is right now. We're just gonna get you know it's a mulligan fest. Is a better way of describing it. Would have loved a green card here. Hands are very dry right now. I bet you they kept the gamble hand and getting punished by this ley line. The other thing I recommend for everybody is, especially for online play, people tend to like look up your list, so always change it. It's like quite annoying artifact of playing online, but more or less, if you don't do that, then you become like almost open deckless, right? Which is a pretty big, in my opinion, disadvantage. Oh, how interesting. Hmm. What do I take away here? They brainstormed. What are the odds that they have natural at Nas? Probably low, right? But they that's gonna be scary. I guess that we'll see. Oh, nice. I went for the high ceiling play, which is this. Like hit their dark rituals now. Oh, now I can just hit their mocks. Wow. Okay, this is like the full blowout for us. I think I want to keep the force of vigor for pitch. We just like completely shredded their hand right now. Oh my god, that's like one of the best cabal therapies I've had, maybe ever. Whew. I should have fetched on the end step, but that's okay because I didn't want to draw a land. Hey, Ramar, you just missed one of the sickest cabal therapies ever. It was a 4 for 2. I hit 2 dark rituals and a flashback. Hit 2 chromoxes. So that's pretty neat. Do I have the pummeler? I don't think I do. Yeah, I boarded it out. I guess we could just well, actually, let's take that back. Let's attack first. Actually, I think we speed of our clock here. Yeah. Okay. Well, we didn't play the cleanest there. We tried to put the one thing back in. It just did not, register. Didn't clock, as the kids would say. Um, but I think I should be green sunning for Pummeler there as just a win condition, right? So far we're 1-1. Lost to Oops and then beat TES. What's with our hands today? Why can't we just draw lands? I don't think we can keep this, but because this has an inherent fail rate already. Just toss this back. I think we do better. Like especially if we whiff on our second land drop. It's not great, but I think I'll keep. They're on Eldrazi potentially. Turn one tomb, do nothing. So the idea behind the way I've rebuilt the deck with 14, it's 10 plus 4 green sun, but 10 dorks, is I want to just maximize the number of, if they don't answer turn one dork, or if they do answer turn one dork, I can just double spell dork again turn two. If they don't answer it, I can just like maximize my chances of double spell two drops on turn two. That's kind of the logic behind everything. So we're gonna get to do that here, right? With Wight into Artisan. We'll just take their, 4 damage, I guess. Here, maybe we missed the hoof. I don't know, but I just want to put a track center play and just like stabilize the board, so to speak. The neat thing is double spell turn two here means that they can only answer one, really. Like assuming they have Kozilek's command. If they don't have it, then everything just turned on, right? Oh jeez. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to block here. Jesus. The problem is if I block, it's not even enough. I have to either block with a white and then. Oh my god, that's pretty painful. I think we're just gonna have to double block. It's as obnoxious as that sounds. I think we're just dead now. I don't think there's an out. I could be wrong. Yeah, there's no out. Okay, let's just concede. I don't think there's anything I can do, right? Like we're on the draw too. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. The good thing is we have like one of the best cards for this matchup in the sideboard. Um, here's 60. I don't think we want anything else. Uh, I think the way to beat Eldrazi is you just have to draw stuff out. Natural order obviously helps too. The question here is like, it's Tivar better than some of the other stuff we have in the sideboard? I would guess yes, as a way to like clock them back. But really, this matchup is like, if you draw stuff out, you probably win. If you don't, you probably lose. If you're on the draw, at least. If you're on the play, maybe natural order gets there. Like, otherwise, you can't really do anything about those kind of like. I mentioned this earlier. Everything is just whoever can cast the most spells by turn 4 probably wins. Like in most of the case, and they just like cast more spells than we did. Obviously, I say that with a caveat because you can't just cast random spells for relevant. Whoever casts the most relevant spells by turn 4. So, for instance, if you're casting, Tundra Wolves, that doesn't do anything, right? Here are my socials again for those of you curious. Shout out to Mario for coming out. By the way, one of these days we got to do another stream together with Mario. I know, times are busy, but we got to squeeze it in while we can. At least before the new year, hopefully. Actually, it's December already, so hopefully you've been well, Mario. I know we both follow sports. Kind of rough year for our teams. Uh, the Giants, got a litany of injuries. My I guess Rams are doing okay, but my Clippers are just, you know, we severed ties with Chris Paul today. That's not gonna cut it. It's too many irrelevant cards. It's got the best card here, so yeah, Scatterbo is pretty nice. I will say Scatterbo is nice. It's too bad about his injury. He was on my fantasy team too, for whatever that's worth. I think Pumler is the least relevant here, probably. I would have to imagine. That's easy artisan keep. Surveilled land would be nice here, but it is what it is. Yeah, that CTE could be kicking in for Scatterbo the way he runs. That's definitely crossed a lot of people's minds, right? I mean, I love the energy, but I fear for his health. and his physical well being at least. I guess the CTE would be mental health well being. I don't know which one that falls on under, but obviously he's had that other injury too. So hopefully your fantasy football season's though going okay, Romario. I'm if I win this week, I make the playoffs. If I lose, it's a little dicey. We'll see. Dude is doing fine. I hope so. What's going on here? Like either you have the thought Nazi or you don't. What's going on? Are they gonna K command me? Okay, sure they're gonna K command me here to play around the snuff out. It's very annoying, but I don't think I exposed actually to Wasteland. So let's just pass. This card's obnoxious against us. Well, he was looking good for a while, Francisco. He had a really rough week against the Rams, but we'll see how that goes. But he was looking good towards the beginning of the season. Don't tell me they K command into K command. We probably just lost. That's more manageable. They two bottom at least. What is going on the other side? Maybe they have internet issues. It's okay. I lost to Koiki on Nitfit a couple days ago, so I feel you. We snuff out here, so save life. The last Nitfit player, yeah, pretty much. Oh, are they? I don't. I didn't know. I've never interacted with them. I've beaten them a handful of times. I think I've lost to them. I was playing a non-natural order list, and one of the weaknesses of not having natural order is you start to lose to random decks because natural order is the card that punishes Bruise from our side, and we just could not punish it, right? Uh, sure. They want to name Misty for Rainforest. They can. I guess there's a line here they can just like. Yeah, I didn't think they would, but it is what it is. It does punish randomness. That is correct. I think here we're just gonna once and then bash with the Fiend Artisan. Oh my god. What do we want to do here? So do I need to buy some badges? I think so. They're quite good, Romario. Makes the deck a little linear, but that's fine with me at least. I think I just what do we even want? We want the cradle or do we I think we just take the hierarch. Of course that is the card. Well, I'm glad I took the hierarch. We're a bop away from hard casting. We're probably just dead to be honest. Like that might just be sealed our fate. It was kind of a did they mull? I know we did. Yeah, we mulled. They did not. And then they K command, so they're up really two cards on us. Not to mention on the draws, they're up like three cards. What are they gonna do here? Just steal one of our things? I don't think that matters, right? Sure. I guess I'd rather them do that than like steal an Atraxa later. Surprisingly, pretty mediocre play. Yeah, we take four, but like it could be far worse. What is going on here? Actually, that was a mistake. I should have kept this back to block and trade. Oh, that's a bad play by me. Right, because I can't trade with the other pieces. So I'm just like taking a free three for no reason. We'll just pass here. At least a threat that we have like flash creatures or something. I think we're just gonna be super punished right now from not, yeah, not holding back the Fiend Artisan. Although it probably just doesn't matter. I think we just go to one. How much mana do we have? Three. One of the ironies here is this is relevant suddenly. This is suddenly relevant. 1 point for Tivar, where Hoof is not good enough here. We lose to anything, but it is what it is. We took an extra three from the obligator from not having the Phenars in block, but that might now be a blessing or in disguise. We shall see. Can they just pass and not do anything here, please? So Tivar here is actually better than the Hoof would have been, so that's something to be happy about. Playing defense. Who would have thunk? 2025 playing defense. The something I need to work on is clock tilt. Like whenever my opponent is too far behind on clock, I just like lose all focus. All right, we're just dead, I guess. Two K commands, and we drew the Atraxa. We are just dead, I suppose. What are the odds? We even had the snuff out, and then they had the. Jeez. Oh, annoying. Oh, I didn't even activate it. Okay, I'm just like spacing out. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm dead anyways, but all right, not going great. Uh, what is the lesson today so far? We lost to Oops and we lost to Eldrazi, two completely different decks, and we beat TS with Leyline. I have to think. Although I will say I don't. Appreciated them. I appreciated getting the Tivar there. That was actually better than Hoof, which I thought it would be for what it's worth, because a 3 drop is better than a 8 drop, even if you can't cheat on mana, because we're already trying to cheat on Atraxa, and we drew the Atraxa obviously. So what can you do? Drew the Atraxa, and they had double K command, and we mulled, and because we drew the Atraxa, it's almost like we're down 3 cards, right? Another Eldrazi matchup. Again, I'm not trying to be results oriented, so I want to see how these cards perform. We'll see. Okay, that's quite good. We know that they're on Eldrazi, so they can't answer our Eternal Hierarchy, I don't believe. We're gonna have quite the turn two. Interesting. It's like very annoying. Given that they can respond to the mole activation because of Wasteland, I'm gonna sequence differently here. If they want to waste me here, then they're behind, because I have a Wight of the Reliquary on board along with a active Fiend Artisan potentially. This is the counterplay to their line. How's my audio, by the way? Hopefully it's okay. If I did it the other way, which I wanted to originally, which was the mole into the guy's cradle, then they could respond, like I said. Thanks, Francisco. Appreciate the feedback. Okay, they are way behind. Way, way behind. Hmm. So if I play the mole here, I gotta do some math here. So two, it's gonna be 5 creatures. Test for 6. I'm pretty sure if I do it this, actually, hold on, I gotta do it right. This is really dumb, by the way, what we're doing. The mole's a ramp. I'm casting pyritic ritual. That is very dumb. What am I cutting? What am I pitching here? I can't pitch the thing. That's okay. I'll pitch this, I guess. This is like I said. This is Pyretic Ritual with Guy's Cradle and Dorks. I played a land already, I believe. Yeah, I did. Just get another land, I guess. Uh, I guess I get a dork and attack. This is turn three, yeah. Yeah, it kind of does that. Yeah, so again, the Magic is. I wish I could say deck building is harder in 2025. Is easier. You just want to curve out. It's not, also, my friend Jonathan Zhang joked, you just play the cards with the most text and the highest monetary value, right? Like if they print a mythic rare like this one with looks like 50 some words or characters, or I guess here it's not actually that much. Uh, it you just play the most broken cards possible. Is what it comes down to, and you just make your deck as consistently possible to essentially be hell bent by turn four. That's how the winning recipe is, in my opinion. I don't think that matters. They can take our or once upon a time. Sure. I don't think they realize it comes back. I think our opponent doesn't know the interactions, unfortunately. It'll be a good learning experience for them. We're gonna overrun our opponent right now with a everything getting plus 7/7. Uh, what do I pitch right now? I guess I could pitch this and it comes back. Arbor, I guess. I mean, we don't need it, but actually, I guess mine as well. I can attack with a Fiend Artisan. Uh, where's attack? Good for a gazillion damage. Cradle Hoof at home, right? To be honest, this was won because we're on the play. I think. Yeah. This is a turn three virtual kill, I guess. Turn four and actuality. Again, play draw has never mattered more. We were on the play, so we benefited from that, and we didn't draw, the situational endurance that is in the matchup. I don't think I want the like if they want to go turn one chalice us. I don't think we actually care. We just like we only have 10 one drops, I guess. And sometimes it's advantageous for us to just like grow our creatures as well. The thing is, like, yes, Chalice on one stops our turn one, but at the same time, like they're not progressing their board either. I think I'm just gonna keep this off the back of Snuff Out. Oh, I just realized the Arbor's in our hand. That's like really awkward. Mm, that's good. I want them to waste us here. Is there a reason to the deck list having fewer silver bullet type cards? Yeah. I just don't think they're good enough. Like, if I'm gonna play a bullet, I want them to be hammers, and I don't subscribe to the deck looking like an EDH deck. I do not like that kind of deck building. I want the deck as linear and consistent as possible. Like, I hate Outland Liberator as a card. I just don't think it makes a difference. Like, I think my personal opinion is I think every deck should be built almost like a combo deck. Unless you are like the fastest of the tempo decks. And the reason being is because you need to be able to kill your opponent because the decks these days are too strong or not strong, too resilient, and they can fight through your defense if you give them enough time. So it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a combo kill, but you have to virtually lock up the game somehow, in my opinion. Whether that be putting them to zero, some kind of like counterbalance, Sensei's dividing top, lock of the past. I just don't think you can give your opponent like too many turns. Which is why I even cut my favorite card, which is Elvish Reclaimer. I just think it was good defensively and not good enough anymore offensively. Like I want the deck to be super consistent. Like I don't care for like mass vandal unless like ultra rare corner cases or whatever. Interesting. Hmm. They can waste me in response. It feels like they have K command because what the hell else is going on? Oops, cancel. 6 mana. What is going on here? Bash first. Yeah, I have 6 mana. I guess I'll just pass. Maybe I should just play the Arbor. Because I don't think I want to get anything else besides Atraxa. Now, they could TKS me, but if they had that, they would have already done it, I think. Here's what is going on. They didn't do anything. Oh my god, if they play all this dust. Well, they just time walk themselves for what it's worth, but we could just be walking into some crazy thing like Eldrazi Confluence that all this does here. Okay, we got Ultra punished by the TKS that for some reason they didn't play last turn. All right, that's the punish for sure. It didn't make any sense though because like they didn't do anything last turn. They could. I'm not playing. We don't have permission, so we're not playing around. Actually, let me see. I think I want the extra. Well, maybe not. If I pitch this, then they're gonna waste this in response. So I might as well. I think. Oops, animate this. They have the wasteland up, so I think I'm gonna like pitch it away. Actually, that's a mistake. I should bait out their wasteland on the cradle. So the layer is actually live. So that's a mistake by me. Yeah, I messed up. I should be able to I should have been able to make a big layer here, and I couldn't because I screwed that up. There's no way they're blocking. That hopefully that doesn't cost me the misplay here. Nope, don't have anything. It depends. I haven't played it much. I think if you have one mesmeric fiend on the sideboard, it becomes probably okay. I think we cancel. Yeah, see, we would have a huge layer right now, but I like screwed that up. Maybe it doesn't matter. My opponent may not know the matchup well enough, and we if we top deck any payoff, we probably just win anyways. Green Sun, natural order probably just like wins on the spot. Speaking of the devil, Cradle, natural orders, snuff out, probably Fiend. Actually, Badger's probably pretty good here too. How many creatures is this? One, two, three, four, five, six. 6, 7. Are we short? So 6, 7 minus 4. Yeah, we'll be short. I think we do that. Play the cradle first. Probably this. Oh, I should have added another. I guess it doesn't matter. It's a lot of damage. Cradle Hoof at home so far. All right. Lost to Oops, beat Tess. Lost to Eldrazi, beat Eldrazi. I'm gonna use a restroom real quick. Let's go back to the deck list so far. I forgot how that game. Actually, do we play the minimum number of games so far? No, one more than the minimum. Have you seen the EW meta breakdown? Not really. I didn't really look at it. Anything interesting? I know what like top eight is, but and that even that is like I didn't pay super close attention. Do you want a cradle here or not? I think we do. It's high ceiling. 25% tempo. That's like excellent for us, in my opinion. Also rewards the things we like to do anyways. Like we want to be playing more dorks. We want to be playing nice. It's a little dangerous. I'm afraid of like, my opponent dazing that then we don't have a land drop, right? Yeah, I think Omni's probably not something I want to play in general, but everything else seems okay. Like Eldrazi's fine. Like you draw snuff out, you probably win. If you don't, probably lose. It's like coin flippy. Tempo I think is like a really good matchup. Affinity is like a good matchup. Oh, they took the wrong card. Oh, interesting. Can we just not draw this card, please, one time? Can we just not draw Atraxa one time, please? Interesting. Our opponents making some very odd plays. There's no way they're supposed to pick Mole over Fiend Artisan. This is like Reed's win target game. I guess they just wanted to stop the mana acceleration. They had a removal spell. But they have a Bowmaster. That'd be obnoxious. They do. Oh, okay. I guess I'll just keep that in hand. We might lose this game because this Atraxa now. Did we mulligan this game? We did not. We've only had drawn one threat. That's the problem. Maybe we just need more threats, like two reclaimers or something. I don't know. Okay, at least we drew out the Thoughtseize. It's worth something, I guess. 7/7. Fiend Artisan. Humongous. Do we fetch here? I think so. Thin out the deck. I know, right? Let me think. If we have two mana, we can't get anything with it. That's fine. We're just gonna bash. And then on their draw step or upkeep, I'm gonna cast the endurance. In case it matters here. I don't want them to Murktide or like draw something random here. Sure. Once upon a time, too good. There's no way they're dazing, right? Maybe they do have it. Sure. The game's over. They have no pressure, no nothing. I'm gonna call game right now. Yep, there it is. That was easy peasy. All right, do we even need a board? I think we just like run this main deck back. Let's see. Thoughtseize against their deck. Do I want it or not? They're playing Wasteland presumably. Um, there's a merit to just like spamming threats. Um, what would the Thoughtseize replace? Probably the Endurance and maybe something else, and be a little lower to the curve, I guess. I don't think I want to rely on it though. Like I think drawing top deck Endurance felt good to me. Yeah, just like no board, just YOLO. We don't need a board against them. Like there's an argument to be made that Thoughtseize is better than Endurance, but that's like the only thing maybe. Yeah. But I am not. At least not today, right now. I think I want Artisan. Yeah, I could Artisan. I'm not Artisan. Cradle of a long time ago. Earlier this year in the March showcase, and then they're gonna. Yeah, they're gonna do that. Okay, sure. Sure. Ooh, that makes me feel a lot better about keeping Endurance. Hmm. Okay. This feels like a mismatch. Our threats are just better in every single way than theirs. This is a mismatch. Don't think I care. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Um. Okay. Let's do this. How many answers can they chain in a row? Like all our top decks are live. That's ooh, their sequencing is kind of shaky there. They didn't need to waste yet. I guess unless they want to just keep me off something here. Yeah, the removal spell. Oof. Okay. We didn't draw the endurance, but that would be reason to play the Thoughtseize. Yeah, any literally anything probably just wins the game here. Like, how many more removal spells can they possibly have? Not to mention a natural route just like wins the game too. Oh, they have a Kaido. Ew, that's annoying. I think that's I'm just now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe sweepers is just the only thing we care about. Would you like take their sweeper and then they can't win? Maybe that's it. Any relevant threat here wins the game. We just have to. We're in a top deck war. Sure. Natural order wins the game. Green sun wins the game. Any of the two drops wins the game. The deluge was kind of annoying, but actually, in the hindsight, it was really only a 2 for 2, right? Like they killed the white, they killed the mole. I guess they killed a second mole, was it? So 3 for 2 because they lost their own nether wave. We have no more fetchables. That's the awkward part here. Okay. Kind of annoying that deluge. Yeah, I'm watching this game the way it's unfolding. I think we want C's game three. I don't see any pressure from our opponent. Probably hit the bayou. Yeah, I think if we take the sweeper, I don't think they can win. Not to mention we can make lines like turn to, you know, Thoughtseize into force a wider the reliquary through. That they just auto lose to. All right, Let's change how we boarded and go lower to the ground. We didn't draw any endurance, so that's not really why we lost, unless it was the one dork. All right, let's take these endurances. Actually, yeah, let's take these endurances out. The bog probably leave. I think we want the thought seizes, and then we need to make one cut. Probably just one bird. Everything else is probably better. Ugh. Yeah, or their permission for to force natural order through. The problem here is I don't have a one drop, and I don't want to go like seasoned mole. It seems way too slow. I think I need to keep dork. It would be awkward if the dork we cut here is the C's, because then this hand is like keepable, right? We go turn one dork, turn two like fiend plus mole plus fiend. This is like better, I guess. What are they doing? Turn one brainstorm. Oh, I think they're trying to like find the snuff out. That's the only explanation. We're flooding out a little bit though. How's Four Cradle been? Good. It's really good with removal. Yeah. I think we're gonna lose this game the way it's going, and it's entirely possible we're supposed to have kept the first hand because we're flooding out. Shoot. Okay. A little too late. How many delugers are they playing? Jesus. Okay. The Kaido's bad for us too. I think we're gonna lose this game. God damn it. Their plays just make no sense right now. Like they didn't need to play the underground sea before casting the ponder. Like it's pretty loose, but it is what it is. Well, this is quite infuriating. We're gonna lose. Yeah, I don't think we're winning this game now. We needed to not mulligan that first. We needed to not mulligan that first hand. It would have went okay. Turn one sees, turn two mull, turn three. Yeah, that's a lot of planning to do for what it's worth. Maybe it doesn't get there anyways. They have the force. It's unfortunate. I feel like we have no choice but to run this through right now. Yep. There's nothing we can do there. Now, maybe we hit run a runner, draw another natural order here. Probably wins the game. I think. Kind of brutal. Like I'm trying to think, how could that have played out differently? They didn't go after my Matadors, which is interesting. Maybe we just didn't draw well. Happens. Yeah, endurance doesn't do anything in this matchup right now, right? Like I'm losing. Oh, they have the Kaido out. Okay, I think that's just game. They kept in their wastelands, but we just flooded out, right? We need to draw. We drew two payoff spells all game, right? Like one white, one natural order, so not ideal. We drew the thought seasons, but out of order is the problem. Say la vie. Good games. Too little, too late. Well, actually, did I mess that up? Hold on. Oh, is that 8? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Maybe I should have attacked the Tamio, but didn't matter. Did I mulligan that game? I think I did. They kept. Yeah, I mowed a 6. And then I didn't draw a second threat until way too late. My opening hand, I think, was like. Ba. Actually, maybe that's the misplay. Yeah. I think we just don't respect Nethergoyf there. Like, this is just a Tarmogoyf at the end of the day. I don't think we actually care. So I think if I were to do it again, given the way this game played out, we need to draw one of these threats. We didn't draw a Green Sun. We didn't draw any of these. We only had one 2 drop. I think it was correct to board in the seizes. I don't think it would have mattered game 2 because again we could not have seized at the right time. Board out the endurance, board out the graveyard hate. Like I don't think another Gorf's gonna beat us for whatever that's worth. Like our creatures outsize their nether Gorfs too. That's the other thing. Um, and then if I kept in the dork, then that hand is a lot playable. And then think I don't know if we win, but I definitely like my chances better of going turn 2 Mole into Fiend. They probably like kill the Fiend, maybe days, I don't know, and then force the natural order through. That means everything else is live afterwards. So it is what it is. 11-13. Should we run back more? I feel like we had a little bit of extra time here. What do you think, chat? Run it back? I don't think I would make any changes just yet to the deck. I think this build is better. It's a lot more. Like the wasteland, it depends. Like I think if your expected metagame is like kind of the average player, so to speak, the wasteland build you get a lot of free wins because people make mistakes. I think at a higher, if I expect my competition to be better, I probably play this better because I don't expect to get as many free wins from wasteland. Sure. Yeah, I don't. Let's run it back. I don't think I have any problems with this list. We just got a little bit unlucky there. Sure. Let's see how we do. So good sample size there. But yeah, the deck's just trying to like be super ultra consistent. I think it was it's been good so far. I think it's been not much different than Hoof, but then you can actually hardcast it because most of the games you go like natural order and Traxa, and then you Pummeler the next turn anyways. Yeah, I think so. I think Hoof is easy mode. I think more often than not, you're gonna natural for Atraxa, and you're gonna have the mana to Pummeler the next turn anyways. Like, I don't think you're gonna lose too many matches because of that. But this actually saves you a sideboard slot. I think this player was in our chat earlier. They're probably playing like Doomsday or something. I try not to worry too much about like wins and losses up for like leagues because for starters, not everybody takes leagues seriously. So you don't know if your opponent is playing optimally or like watching TV or something. So that's starters. Two, obviously, not obviously. In addition, I guess is probably the better word. Uh, if I take the cradle here, I have a lot of mana. The problem is then I'm like all in on just like one payoff. I think we just take the artisan. Um, my personal opinion is no, and only because I think I build Cradle in a way where I expect to win the fair matches regardless. Like I don't think we need extra help there. Hopefully that makes sense. Ooh, they go for the blowout. We're just gonna be in business here. If they go for the bowmaster, we're gonna have the full on endurance blowout. Uh, maybe. I that's what I thought game two, but I don't know. It seems like they're playing like 4 or 5 sweepers now. Like they're just like definitely afraid of our deck. And their clock is anemic. I didn't feel I was under pressure at all. Now, obviously, a nurse is a flash creature. That's like worth something, but interesting. They're just gonna let us untap with a gazillion mana. There's no way that's correct. It's gotta be Tempo Doomsday. I feel like this player just hi TZ Verubin evening. There's no I think they're on Tempo Doomsday. I could be wrong. Otherwise, we're just gonna untap with 5 mana. I think the line here is I'm gonna Fiend Artisan for Wild Reliquary to unlock my mana to set up the kill later. There's that. Ooh, they're gonna get blown out here. What? Wow, that's kind of insane. They're not going for the Fiend Artisan. Okay. I mean, they were in our chat earlier, and so they know. I guess that's a possibility that we can. Not really. I wanted them to target the artisan. They like. Wow, jeez. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So how do I want to do this? Oh, times like this where I wish I had the grist. Then I actually, oh, like I'm like royally messing this up. I needed to tutor for why the reliquary there instead of passing endurance. I like tunnel vision. Oh, I'm messing that up. Didn't okay? I screwed this game up, right? I punted royally. Went through that turn without Fiend Artisan activation, which is just criminally wrong. There is a. I wish I could just like tutor with Artisan for a Cradle. There's a black card that lets me do that. Grim something is a 4 drop. The problem with that though is then I have to play that card in my deck, which I don't think is a good card. I think I'm gonna lose this game because I just like f that turn up royally. I have 2, 4. It's insane to me they did not go after the Artisan. Like we had the full blowout ready, and it's insane to me that they did not go after it with the endurance. And we weren't able to punish it because I like got super sloppy right now. That's the other problem. Like I don't like to reveal all my tech because I get scouted too much. So they know our list, and they probably played around the possibility of endurance blowing them out there with bowmasters targeting Fiend Artisan. Do we need oof main? Maybe I don't know. Um, I'd rather not play it. I think oof is kind of bad right now, and they know because they were in our chat earlier. We don't have wasteland, so like they don't need to play around that. So it's why I like to change my list because otherwise you just get scouted, right? Not having a guy's cradle here like hurts. So we have two, four, five, 6 mana. Do they have force? One, two, three. Looks like they don't have force. Maybe. Good question. I definitely royally flopped this game. Yeah, see, they know we don't have the main deck oof, which is kind of aggravating. This would not be a problem in paper. I don't think they go for this pile if they didn't like scout us. Let's try to win post board game here when we're not scouted. Um, yeah, it it's times like this where I kind of want to play the first Wasteland and things like that because this can happen, like on stream. All right, that's neither here nor there though. We want Pummeler, maybe. Let me see what else I can cut. Fiend is way too slow this matchup. Didn't do anything. No bog. Probably just leaving the collective just in case. Thoughts? Bring in all the discard. I guess two of them. It's probably fine. Nah, I'm not gonna respect it. There's no way they're going for that. We can go land into like, ugh, missing land drops is not what I want to be. This is better, I guess. We know what's on bottom, so we're not gonna fetch first. Uh, Here I think we just go with white, so we have two threats. We can pitch one to the like thought season, take a white or something, or push a white. Dark ritual and force. Um, what do we care about here? I think we just take the force. We don't actually care about the push. I think put one card on top. Interesting. Playing Wasteland. What kind of nonsense is this? Days? One thing about Fiend Artisan is it does make this matchup harder. It's not very good against Doomsday. It's too slow is the issue. What do I want to do here? Did I cut a land? I don't think so, right? pumps my Wild Reliquary, and it means the endurance is live later on. We have a pretty fast clock. I took their force because I didn't want to be I didn't want to trade down on mana or as much, right? Like a card to them, they might be like useless other things. I think they're thinking about like how to sequence their lands here. Oh, they're gonna Dark Ritual, Doomsday, sure. At least that we know there's no more force, presumably. If they daze, they daze. Like it is what it is. No, I wouldn't. I've tried it. It's way too inconsistent for my liking, at least. And how is it only a 3 card package? It's like 8 cards, right? Unless I'm missing. What do you mean by that? One, two, three. Do they have another force? One, two, three. There's 3 days already. I think I main phase it here. Oh, I see what you're saying. That's a lot of moving parts. Why did I keep Fiend Artisan? It's horrendous. Now, like, look at this board state. It's like I need to board it out. I think with Fiend and I think it's good. Let me think about that. No, because you have to tutor twice. How many times are you tutor? How many times are you losing if you tutor twice with it? And the other 2 cards are horrendous by itself, or 3 cards, I guess. They keep going for this line, which is like very interesting. I'm gonna Talon Gates them right now. I saw either bloom in the side out of a reanimator and maybe think, yeah, but those decks are inherently inconsistent. So if you add more inconsistency to it doesn't hurt that much. If you add inconsistency to a consistent deck, I think it hurts a lot. All right, let's see. You want to like snuff out thing that might be better than a Fiend Artisan, to be honest. Fiend Artisan like feels horrendous here. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like it feels way too slow. You can find an oof, but like I don't want to kind of do that really. I think I'd rather take the chance here that like the snuff out works. Now, huh, yeah, we'll see. Maybe the green card is like worth more. Don't know. We'll find out. That's the problem with keeping a hand like this. We're gonna flood out. I don't think we can afford not to keep this though. But it is what it is. Actually, that wasteland helps us. I think we take. So they have a gazillion removal spells. Just take the Doomsday, the thing that's redundant. Let me think. I don't care about Bowmasters. I don't think. Just yeah, let's do that. So they don't have any pressure. They're gonna waste for sure, but that's okay. I think they're gonna go for the cheese win, but we'll see. They may actually hold the Bowmasters. I want them to waste here for what it's worth. We'll see. We could time walk them too and just not like play anything and just like waste their mana. We would be wasting our mana too for whatever that's worth. The Bowmasters. Let me think. Actually, yeah, we'll be giving them a free Bowmasters hit here. Is that worth it to us? I don't think that's gonna pressure that much. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass because we know their hand. Oh my god, I should have fetched. Hmm. We were floating out like crazy, but my god. I needed a fetch in the end step there, but that was a mistake. Strangely, our opponent did not do anything there. Quite odd. Flooding out's gonna be the bane of us here. They're probably gonna bowmasters into waste here. I would have to imagine. What the heck is going on? Maybe two bowmasters into a waste. They're on the aggro plan. I don't know. Sure. Still have a fatal push. Hmm. We would have won this game easily, but our deck is not cooperating. Did they keep in days? I guess is the question. Maybe. Sure. How many fatal pushes? That's like actually we know about two. It's fine. Oh my god. Okay. That's fine. I think we drew out all the removal now. But more and more, Jesus, lands. It's my fault too because there was one turn where I was supposed to fetch and I didn't, and I drew another fetch because of that. Great, 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 great. I care. Hey, new. Good morning. The clock difference is like tilting me now. Nice. Finally. Okay. Normally I would attack, but we're actually kind of low. Ugh. Okay. So if we attacked, it would have been at 13. So they would have been at 6 instead of 8. Whatever that's worth. We drew too many lands this game. My fault though. I didn't fetch on that one turn. So and I drew another fetch immediately after. 7 minute clock difference. If it were me and you have a greater than, I don't know, 10 minute, let's just say clock difference is the auto loss. That's me. And 10 is like generous. Maybe it should be like 5. I don't think so because we can't attack this time. They have bowmasters, and again, our opponent is knows our list, so maybe that's the reason we need to play like one wasteland or something. I do change my list, so there's that. Although to be fair, I'm not sure wasteland would have mattered this game. I think we boarded out the one land too, right? The bog. In hindsight, I don't know. Fiend Artisan feels slow. Maybe we're supposed to keep it because it can find Pummeler and just they have what like four removal spells or something. We saw three at least because they have the Bowmaster, which is annoying, and then two pushes plus a long goodbye. Maybe there's an argument. We're supposed to like we didn't draw the snuff out, but I think the snuff out probably should be a the Fiend Artisan or something like that. Our opponent is at 2 minutes. They're flirting with the what would be the auto loss time, right? 10 minutes. Let's bash first. One, two, three, four. So no force of wills. Um. Okay. Interesting. I wonder if I just like hold this back. Did they keep removal? Maybe that's what it is. No, it's all exiled. So they drew all three removal spells. Yeah, it would be an extra one. Sure. Yeah, for sure. Okay. No, I lost because they have another Oracle. I messed up. I think I'm supposed to endurance the previous turn and I did not. But I guess they could have consigned the talent gates. Yeah. This is brutal. 18 seconds left. Jesus. All right, that's like removed all fun from my night. With the slow play, but all right. I guess we'll call it night. I lose all motivation when something like that happens. Let's say who should I raid here? The BFG, I guess. All right, thank you for hanging out. I think the list is fine. I probably misplayed that last game there. I think I should have went for endurance the turn before, but I did flood out. Um, somewhat tilted by the like I said the clock difference, but uh, sideboard. I think with all the oops around, maybe we need another ley line, something like that. The Tivar actually was impressive in lieu of the hoof, save our sideboard slot. Um, it's weird. We didn't really play against Temple much, but I almost feel like I want room for the fourth endurance. But aside from that, everything else was probably fine. Maybe we can cut a land. All right. We did flood out. Pretty bad there. All right. Good night, everyone.